And welcome into Bedford High School in Bedford, New Hampshire, where the boys basketball team will be taking on the visiting Salem Blue Devils. I'm Corey Munster-Tiger with the BCTV crew. I have Bill Carter here next to me. Jack Watson will be providing some analysis after the quarters. Bill, we saw some warm-ups. We have senior night tonight for the boys team, a little ceremony beforehand. That will be rebroadcast at halftime for the replay. What are you thinking about tonight's game as we end out the regular season here at Bedford High School?
Well, I see us a little testing to get themselves ready for the playoffs. Get some of those players that might not be normal players, to get them some playing time, to know what's going on. It's going to be a long, tedious run here. Bedford does have the opportunity tonight to be the #1 seed with a win, depending on some of the other strengths of schedule. But right now, other than a couple of healthy scratches, the whole Bedford team there is ready to play tonight.
We have some healthy scratches and unhealthy scratches, a little bit of a combination. As we know, Brady O'Connell has been out of the starting lineup since suffering a knee injury a couple weeks ago. We also will not see Luke Soden in the starting lineup tonight. He will take the night off as they prepare for the playoff push as they begin next week. So 2 starters down. It is also senior night, so we did honor 6 seniors this evening, and they will round out the starting lineup this evening as we will have Caden Brown, Ethan and Daniel Caldwell starting, as well as Sean Toscano and Aiden O'Connell for the Bulldogs. The lone senior not starting, as you cannot start 6 basketball players, that would be a little bit awkward, is Dylan Lafferty, again, that 6th senior. Congratulations to all 6 of them on fantastic careers, and we wish them the best as they close out the regular season tonight and position themselves for the playoffs. On the Salem side, there are also 4 seniors for them. David McGrail, Justice Casado, Phil Mello, and Zach Carrion. Congratulations to them as well this evening. You heard about the Bulldogs starting lineup for the Blue Devils. Justice Casado, Phil Mello, Zach Carrion, Callan Smith, it's not Kalen, Callan Smith, and Brady Gaudette will round out the starting 5 for the Blue Devils. We'll take a quick timeout here for the national anthem and rejoin for Bedford basketball. National anthem. Student section wearing red this evening. We welcome in the Salem School District TV, Channel 6 this evening, as they are joining the BCTV crew on 1072 and 23, as well as WBNH 105.1. Packed house tonight on the media side. I mean, we got Bill Jennings running the camera, normally executive producer. He wanted to get in the mix tonight. Andrew Fenn helping out with production as well. I've already been smashing his monitors up tonight, Bill. He's a little bit angry at me. I threw stuff all over the stands here. We got Harry Kozlowski, as usual, helping out on the radio side, 105.1. And, of course, Jack Watson will be providing some analysis at the end of the quarter. We are set to jump it up.
All right, Dave Swicker here with the referee duty tonight. He'll be working with Mark Hamill as the umpire.
A little bit awkward on the jump as Daniel Caldwell was scrapping down low with Zach Carrion, but the Bulldogs do come away with it. Caden Brown now.
Maybe they thought this was wrestling, not basketball, to start off the game. Oh,
quick turnover by Brown, and the Blue Devils will come out. They were in a 2-3 zone defense. Brown was looking for Caldwell. Daniel Caldwell cutting in from the wing, and his pass sailed a little too high. Now the Bulldogs come out in their full court press, looking to force turnovers and keep things upscale here. Callan Smith now near side to Casado, back around the horn, baseline jumper, no good by Carrion, defensive rebound by Brown. Far side to Toscano, he'll pull from 3 in transition, a little short. Offensive rebound batted out by Caldwell, and the Blue Devils will get the ball.
And Salem did play Bedford at the Queen City tournament early this year, and I believe it was a half-century victory for
It was not a competitive game.
No, it was not.
But given the rest of the season, the Blue Devils look to, first of all, solve this full court trap and then get some offense on the board. In transition here and too strong off the glass was Phil Mello. Getting out on the break was Brown, but the pass was picked off by Casado. Now Daniel Caldwell across the lane to a cutting Aiden O'Connell, and he gets fouled on the way to the hoop. So a lot of back and forth action here, still scoreless over a minute in the first quarter. Aiden O'Connell will go to the line for 2. Foul was on Brady Gaudette. That was his team's first. And we're still looking to break the seal here this evening. A lot of action there. Sorry,
no,
Bill. I felt like I was cutting you off left and right as Aiden O'Connell misses the front end. Just trickled over the front end of the rim and then hit hard and bounced out to the left. He misses his second as well.
Still no score.
And it is 0-0. Minute 10 in. Little cut in by Casado, dishes it back, and hitting the 3 is Phil Mello. Salem is on the board first, 3-0. 6:30 to go in the first quarter. Toscano now back up top to Ethan Caldwell. Near side, Caden Brown. O'Connell back to Brown. He'll pull from 3, a little too strong. Defensive rebound by Brady Gaudette. And the Blue Devils are in transition. We're going to get a block foul now on Ethan Caldwell as Phil Mello tried to cut down the lane. Took a good shot by Ethan Caldwell as he was coming through that painted area. Well, I guess in this case, non-painted area.
Neutral.
Blue Devils will inbound from under their offensive basket.
Well, it looked like a travel there. Just what?
Tough one there. Missing the shot there is Mello. Defensive rebound is Daniel Caldwell. O'Connell rips through, lefty, gets to the elbow, dishes back. Caldwell now, back to O'Connell in the corner. Steps around, baseline jumper, no good. Still 3-0 Blue Devils. Phil Mello driving hard. He's going to get called for a travel. Picked it up, took an extra step. Bill Carter,
pressure
about
there
that
by
call?
Caden Brown. No, it was good pressure by Caden Brown and forced the turnover there. That's what Bedford defense is, you know. Got to keep them off the ball, and they'll get warm here. They'll get the range and be able to put the ball in the basket. It's a little bit early. Well,
Caldwell misses the lay-in. Toscano with the offensive board, can't quite get it to fall. The Blue Devils get the defensive rebound. They're back out in transition and get an easy deuce as Justice Casado received the pass across the lane and finished on the lay-in. 5-0 Salem, 2 minutes in, almost 3 minutes in to the first quarter. Now Aiden O'Connell will pull from 3. It was halfway down and rattled out. Back in transition, Zach Carrion bounces into the lane. His jumper is no good. Little floater in the lane. He gets the offensive rebound and the putback. And it's good. 7-0 Salem. Just over 5 minutes to go here. O'Connell finds Toscano. Gets to the elbow, kicks to the corner. Jumper there is finally good. And Daniel Caldwell gets the Bulldogs on the board. Now the Bulldogs looking to trap again with their full court pressure. The Blue Devils solve that and will settle into their half-court offense. Gaudette, weak side, three-pointer, no good, well short, but following up is Mello. He gets a little too strong on his follow-up. Now another three-pointer is good. Callan Smith. 10-2 Salem as they've started the first half of the quarter on fire. Another missed jumper by Aiden O'Connell. And the defense gets another rebound. Deep in the corner, Callan Smith finds Gaudette. He'll take a foul. Toscano went for the pump fake. Gaudette waited for that foul and took out the legs of Toscano. He hit the ground hard, but it seems to be okay coming up. So Gaudette will go to the line, shooting two. The Blue Devils are up 10-2 here, just a touch over halfway through the first quarter. We're going to see some substitutions for the Bulldogs as the Caldwell brothers will check out. Toscano checks out. Lafferty, Bedoyan, and Kazajanski will check in for the Bulldogs. Zach Carrion checks out for the Blue Devils, and David McGrail will be on the floor. Kazajanski now quickly into transition. He's going to get an offensive foul. They were trying to get out there quickly in transition. Kazajanski took it strong, but a little too strong as Brady Gaudette had great foot position and drew the contact.
Got to spend a few minutes with Coach McLaughlin, and he was looking for that miracle win tonight. And right now, they're starting off right where he wanted them to be.
They sure started on the right foot. Here again, 10-2 is the lead as Justice Casado misses the little jumper from the elbow. Brown now, back down to Bedoyan. In the lane, getting swarmed was Lafferty, and the Blue Devils come away with it. Across the lane, now down in the lane, Gaudette passes back up top, and a two by Casado. He has 4 points, and the Blue Devils have started on a 12-2 run, and that is your score. Coach Moreno takes time out.
Yeah, just not falling in right now for them. Trying to get the mix in so that they can get down there and score a basket, and I'm sure they'll get it. It's just that every so often you just need a little encouragement from the coach to get on to the right page here.
And the Blue Devils have been handling that full court pressure by the Bulldogs well too. Their press break has been working like clockwork. No turnovers quite yet. Bedford's going to look to turn up that defensive intensity and try to get some easy buckets in transition. 3:17 to go here in the first quarter. 12-2, visiting Blue Devils lead.
Looks like Bedford will have the baseline here as we come out of that timeout.
Salem again in their 2-3 zone defense. Bedoyan up top, looks for cutters. Caden Brown tries to stuff it into Kazajanski, and his pass gets deflected and turns it over. Mello now back to Gaudette. Measures a three. Now turns it over. Caden Brown is out on the break. Nobody's going to get a hand near him, and Brown gets a deuce. 12-4.
Got the opportunity the other day to meet Nick Bedoyan's mother in the CVS, and she was so emphatic about hearing her son's name on BCTV because he got to play just a little bit and get some significant points, and was very happy to hear the Bedoyan name on BCTV as part of the last broadcast.
He's been contributing all season. It's been great to see him. Of course, Bedoyan, just a sophomore, getting some significant minutes. He and Brady O'Connell have done a lot of the point guard duties throughout the season, and Nico normally finding himself quick off the bench behind Brady, but Brady with that knee injury late season, Nico's been getting quite a bit of time. So Bedoyan, great job here this evening, and well, we're happy to bring Mrs. Bedoyan, her son's name over the radio. And the TV, of course.
And the TV, yes.
So the Blue Devils will take over. Phil Mello on the far sideline. Inbounds, quick pass back, and now the Bulldogs looking again to trap there where they can. A couple ball fakes, get the Blue Devils out. Looks like the Bulldogs got away with a little bit of a foul, but Kazajanski is going to score 2 on the transition. Great pass there from Brown. And the Blue Devils turn it over again. Aiden O'Connell with the pick this time, and now Brown, another deuce.
Quickly, 6-0 run there for Bedford. Oh, another turnover. Oh.
Back and forth on that one. Aiden O'Connell got a little greedy, tried to get it all the way across. And now Brown hustling back, gets the block. The score is quickly 12-8. And the Bulldogs are excited about getting back into this chaotic, if you will, chaotic basketball. They're creating the chaos, creating the turnovers, and getting easy opportunities on the fast break. 2:03 left to go in the first quarter. The Bulldogs have gone on a little bit of a run. 6-0, and they bring it back. 12-8 is your score. The Bulldogs still trail by 4 here. Bedoyan up top. Blue Devils still in there 2-3. Aiden O'Connell down low, a little too strong. And the Blue Devils come away with the defensive rebound.
I don't know, 5 might have got away with a little bit of a push there.
A little bit down low there, and now Lafferty gets called for a foul. You're absolutely right. It did look like Aiden O'Connell took a hit down low, causing him to go off balance. In this case, Lafferty picks up the foul.
4th team foul on Bedford.
Kazajanski steals the inbound pass. He's going in for the lay-in, takes a hit, almost scores it, but doesn't. Carrion will pick up the foul, and Kazajanski will go to the charity stripe. Toscano looks to check back in for the Bulldogs as Kazajanski goes to the line. Again, shooting 2, 1:41 to go in the first quarter. As Kazajanski knocks down the first, he now has 3. Aiden O'Connell will have a seat next to Coach Moreno. Kazajanski's second is up and good. He has 4. And the lead is just 2. Trap again here by the Bulldogs. The Blue Devils are able to break it. Offensive rebound there by Zach Carrion. 3-pointer is good. Callan Smith, second 3 of the night. He has 6. And now a turnover by the Bulldogs gets the Blue Devils back out on the fast break. They'll settle things down as the Bulldogs seem to get back. Now Toscano comes up with a loose ball. Right down the middle, Bedoyan will score the easy deuce. Kind of a good no call there as the Salem Blue Devil defender had good position. Fell down, and now Carrion with an acrobatic move with the left through the lane. 17-12 is your score.
Things freeing up just a little bit here.
Sure are. Caden Brown misses a 3. Defensive rebound by Dave McGrail.
In the last
Blue Devils
minute here.
will settle things down as we have just about 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. Back cut here. Great block and recovery by Austin Kazajanski. Now down low, Toscano with the and 1. Excellent pass across the lane. Caden Brown, I believe, in transition. Saw Toscano on the far side. Toscano took it strong to the hoop, got the hoop and the harm, and will try to finish the 3-point play. 23 seconds to go in the first quarter. 17-14 for now, as Toscano looks to bring the Bulldogs within 2. A little too strong on the free throw. And the ball goes out of bounds off Kazajanski. So it remains a 3-point lead for the Blue Devils. 17-14, 21 seconds to go in the first quarter. Carrion now. Across the lane, Toscano comes away with the loose ball. Kazajanski now out quick to Brown. Bounce pass across, Bedoyan gets blocked. Good hustle by Phil Mello on the block there. Got back and contested that shot. 3 seconds now, 1, 2. And a desperation shot from half court is after the buzzer by Mello, but The Blue Devils come out of the first quarter with a 3-point lead, 17-14.
Quick 10-2 start there for Salem, and looks like Bedford has at least worked their way back in to only being down by 3 points.
Certainly the starting lineup caused a little bit of variation for Coach Moreno. He had his seniors in there. Perhaps they weren't quite ready for the intensity for which he wanted them to play in that full court pressure type situation, usually causing several turnovers and getting the ball bouncing in their way quite quickly. Scoring update for you. Austin Kazajanski and Caden Brown each have 4, 2 apiece for Toscano. Daniel Caldwell and Nico Bedoyan rounds out the 14 for the Bulldogs. On the Blue Devils side, Callan Smith has buried 2 3-pointers for 6 points total. 4 points apiece for Justice Casado and Zach Carrion, and another 3 by Phil Mello rounds out their 17. Quick check-in for Jack Watson, high school senior here at Bedford. Jack, any observations from that first quarter?
Yeah, as we kind of talked about and reiterated in the broadcast, Bedford started really slow. I don't think we've seen Bedford start that slow all season. Salem came out to a 12-2 run in the beginning. There was very much lack of defense, definitely on the help side defense as well. They were just letting kids cut through and get open layups. And on the offensive end, they just weren't hitting shots, but once they took that timeout and gained that intensity on the full court press, they started getting steals and starting itching their way back. I mean, they're still down 3, but they're definitely playing with higher intensity now, which is good to see.
They're going to need that defensive intensity for sure, as Salem has come out strong. Now Kazajanski comes away with an easy transition try, can't quite get it to go down. Looks to Bedoyan, now finds Toscano around the 3-point line. Drives, kicks back to Kazajanski. Bedoyan will settle. Aiden O'Connell dribbles around, now back up top. Swings it far side to Kazajanski. Toscano back to Kazajanski. Now Toscano will pull from straight away and bury the 3. Toscano with 5 points, and the score is tied, 17 all. Salem now into transition, gets a look at an open 3, can't knock it down, was Brock James, who has checked in for the Blue Devils. Kazajanski tries the Euro step, can't get it to go, but he's fouled on the way to the hoop. That's Brady Gaudette picking up the foul. That's his second foul. 5th on the team, with just over 7 minutes to go in the first half. Kazajanski's first is quite short. Tom Braga is going to check in for Kazajanski depending on the make or miss. 2 subs here for the Blue Devils. Ryan Morris and Callan Smith check back in as Gaudette and Mello have a seat next to Coach McLaughlin. Second by Kazajanski, rattles around and falls down. He now has 5 as well and will take a seat.
Gives Bedford their first lead of the evening at 18-17.
And the Blue Devils now again face that trap. They break through it. Carrion now into the lane. High lefty shot, no good. Bedoyan up the far side to Lafferty. He'll settle things down. Bedoyan steps into a 3 and buries it. Good confidence there by Bedoyan. Not normally an outside shooter. He likes to drive and slash into the lane, but buried the 3 there. 3-pointer here is no good by Ryan Morris. They found him deep in the left corner. Had some time and space, couldn't knock it down. Now Toscano for 3, gets that to fall.
Rolls it in there.
8 points for Toscano, and the Bulldogs have themselves a quick 7-point lead, and that's kind of what we expected as we came in.
You know, that senior warm-up in between might have not had them warmed up enough, having to do some warm-up, stop for 10 minutes, and then go back and do a 5-minute warm-up. So they've found the distance now to start hitting those threes. The players will come out a little bit further, and then the inside game will start coming back to them.
2 threes by Toscano, 1 by Bedoyan, and those have certainly helped in this 7-point lead. They build it out, and now hopefully they're going to hold on to that throughout the rest of the match here. BCTV's live channels and on-demand content are now easier to access at your fingertips than ever before. Bedford Community Television is available for free download on Apple iOS and Android. Download the Bedford Community Television app from your app store today. Also, if you're enjoying the game, you could check out more BHS sports action from Bedford Community TV on your Apple TV or Roku. You can also watch on Amazon Fire TV via Cablecast ScreenWeave app. Download the app to watch the next game live on the big screen. I mean, while we're at it, it's also easy to listen to Bedford 105.1 online. Getting all these reads in here, Bill.
That's right.
www.wbnh.bedfordnh.org for the stream length. We also stream on apps like TuneIn, MyTuner, Simple Radio, and Radio Garden. Just tell Alexa to play Bedford 105.1. The Blue Devils back in live action. Get a little lay-in by Phil Mello as he drives down the lane. He has 5 now. And stops the run by the Bulldogs. Bedoyan now settles things down. Down low, Aiden O'Connell found himself wide open under the basket. Nobody guarding him. He has the easy lay-in.
That's what happens when you start making threes. Those inside plays start to be a whole lot easier because now you've moved the defense further out.
Especially in that 2-3 zone. It's so hard to cover those soft spots around the arc. And if the Bulldogs can keep knocking down those 3-pointers, Blue Devils are certainly going to have a hard time. Mello now. Across the top to James. Brock James. Now to Callan Smith. He's guarded by Toscano. Far side. Back to Mello. Right back into the middle. He gets picked off. Aiden O'Connell now comes away with it. Good interception there by Toscano. Now he fills it in for the 3. Pulls the trigger a little too strong. Up high for the rebound was Aiden O'Connell. Jeez. All ball, in my opinion, was Brock James, but he gets called for the foul. Ooh, actually, they called it on Ryan Morris. I'm not even sure he was close to that play, but Morris gets called for the foul. To me, it seemed like a lot of ball, but Aiden O'Connell will go to the line. Coach Carter, what do you think of that one?
They're a lot closer than we are.
Okay. He bites his tongue and will avoid any criticism. That's fair enough. 26-19 is your score. The Bulldogs hold a 7-point lead with 5:12 to go in the half.
You got to remember that I'm a guy that usually has some stripes on, so
That's why I'm asking you, sir. I want your opinion.
My opinion is that he was a couple hundred feet closer than we were to that call.
Fair enough. Missing the 3-pointer out of the Blue Devils, that was James, but in the scramble, Smith is able to knock it off of a Bedford defender. So Blue Devils will inbound under their offensive basket. Smith up top. Back down to James. James to the cutter, Casado. Pass down low is out of bounds.
Defensive intensity has picked up a tick here for Bedford.
Sure has. The Blue Devils have only scored 2 points thus far in the quarter. They ended the first with 17, only 19 now, and we're almost halfway through the quarter. Kazajanski short on the 3. And the Blue Devils back in transition. Mello now gets to the elbow, nearly loses it, gets it to Casado. Back to Mello. Casado now drives right, he passes across the lane, batted by Toscano with the help defense, got his left paw in there and knocked it out of bounds. Lafferty's gonna come in for Toscano. Toscano with 8 points here tonight on senior night, knocking down those 2 big threes to help out that Bedford run. Blue Devils, great defense there by Braga. It looked like his foot was out of bounds. He's gonna take the Euro step and lay it in.
Beautiful layup there.
Just a fantastic fundamental defense there too. He got his left hand in on that passing lane and created that turnover. Casado in the middle now, looks for help. James, now far sideline. This is McGrail. Kicks it back up top to Callan Smith. Crossover dribble, now lefty push pass to James. Brock James looks down in the corner, finds Smith, desperately weaves it back out top. And that ball does go off of Braga as he got a hand in on that pass. So a near turnover by the Blue Devils. Referee is right there, Coach Moreno.
Little discussion if they were out of bounds before that one happened there.
Coach Moreno's beside himself there. He does hold a 10-point lead though, 29-19, as they have recovered from that 2-12 start. They were down 10 early and are now up 10. This is James. James drives righty. Dishes down low, that gets batted around, and Brown was the last to touch it for the Bulldogs, so the Blue Devils will inbound again. 3:14 to go here in the first half. 29-19 is your score.
Coach Moreno barking out a few orders there to make sure that his players are where they're supposed to be.
Working it around the outside back there. Oh, Phil Mello somehow finds Gaudette. Gets it up in the lane and can't get it to go. Defensive rebound by Braga. Kazajanski back to Braga. Little jab step. Kicks it out to Lafferty for three. Got it.
Good.
Lafferty buries the three. 32-19. Up quick, Salem. Three-pointer no good. That was Brock James. Defensive rebound by Kazajanski, and they're off and running again. Taking a hit. Ooh.
Calls it offensive there.
Called for an offensive foul is Kazajanski. That's his second offensive foul this evening. Officials talk it over. And yeah, they'll settle on what they originally said. Austin Kazajanski with the offensive foul. Again, his second foul, fifth on the team.
Looks like the defender got there first, and that's a bang-bang play. We can discuss it for the next 5 minutes, but they only had 2 seconds to make the call.
Braga here, and gets called for an over and back. That's an unfortunate one. Great hustle defense by Braga, jumped on the floor, and unfortunately when he passed it back to his teammate was in the backcourt, so it is an over and back.
Possession didn't change between Bedford and Salem, so that's what the backcourt call was made.
Quick reminder that the boys ice hockey team is playing at Keene tomorrow, 3:30. Harry Kozlowski will have the radio call for you guys if you're interested in hockey. Thomas Braga almost makes a defensive play here, but he was out of bounds. So it's still the Blue Devils basketball.
Get your hockey fix in because the Bruins are on the West Coast.
They sure are. Quite a game last night, 11 goals, and the Bruins came out with a 6-5 victory. Great to see that. Brown will get called for an offensive foul. These guys, let me ask you this one. That seemed like Caden DeLeon was under the basket.
Well, this is not college.
It's not college, it's not the NBA. Still, he's not really in a defending position, though, is he?
He is at the spot. That's the key right there. The defender is at the spot.
So Caden Brown comes away with the offensive foul. Defensive rebound can't get handled there. Gaudette comes down with the rebound.
That should have been a jump there. That ball was stopped there.
Comes away with it. Bedoyan now down to the corner. Brown back up top. Lafferty fakes the three, gets to the foul line, buries this little floater. Dylan Lafferty now with 5. Gaudette in the middle of the lane for Salem. Can't get it to go. Offensive putback by Phil Mello. He has 7.
Only the 4th point for Salem this quarter.
Back quick. Caden Brown can't make the lay-in on a long bounce pass to the baseline. And the Blue Devils are back. Going for the steal was Braga. Couldn't quite make it, but missing the shot was Smith. And now the Bulldogs again, quick in transition. Bedoyan across the lane finds Braga for the easy lay-in. 4 points for Tom Braga. Mello into the lane, righty off the glass from the left side. Mello now with 9. 36-23, the Bulldogs hold a 13-point lead, just under a minute to go in the first half. Next foul for each team will put them in the bonus. as both have 6 team fouls. Slowing it down now are the Bulldogs. Coach Moreno wasn't quite sure he liked that idea, as he was chirping his players to keep it high tempo. O'Connell, Bedoyan, now Brown. Cross-court pass, Aiden O'Connell for 3, halfway down again, but rattles out. Score remains 36-23, just over 20 seconds to go here in the first half. DeLeon, push pass across to Phil Mello, takes a long 3, it's off. Braga with the rebound, it's stripped away by Zach Carrion, and the Bulldogs will get it out of bounds, as that did go off of Carrion. 10 seconds to go. Let's see what the Bulldogs have in store here. Bedoyan dribbles up and over the timeline. 8. Down in the corner, Tom Braga will pull from 3, no good. 2, 1, and that'll do it. At full court shot. Ooh, hits the backboard by Caden DeLeon, but no good.
Missed it by that much.
The Bulldogs will close out the first half with a 13-point lead, 36-23, and after a very slow start, Coach Moreno has to be pleased with that first half performance. We'll throw it over to Jack Watson. Jack, any more observations from the second quarter there as the Bulldogs were able to recover?
Yeah, Bedford was doing a good job in the beginning, drawing the defenders in, making some fake passes, and getting the open threes. And then once they started hitting those threes, that made Salem come play them out deeper. So they were able to use that to drive to the basket, get some fouls. They also were playing much higher level defense. They were definitely jumping the gun on those passing lanes, trying to get those steals. They were playing much better help defense as well. A lot of the times in the first quarter, they would just allow people to face cut or cut right behind them to get the easy layup, but they were able to read that and send the extra block over to help. So overall, I think they did a little bit of a better job, definitely more intensity as we watched them play. I mean, they played, you could just tell by the way they were running, by the way their demeanor was. They were just playing much more aggressive and with more intensity. So that's good to see.
Definitely outside shooting, defensive intensity certainly helped with that turnaround. Yeah. The Bulldogs scored 22 points in that second quarter to only 6 points for the Blue Devils, and that helped turn this game around. We'll take a time out here for halftime and rejoin you on the other side for Bedford Bulldogs basketball on WBNH 105.1 and BCTV. And welcome back to Bedford High School Gymnasium, where the Bulldogs are taking on the visiting Salem Blue Devils. I'm Corey Munster-Tiger with the BCTV crew. Bill Carter has joined me during the first half for color. Jack Watson providing some insights as well. Jack, keys to the second half that you foresee?
Yeah, I think for Bedford, keeping that defensive intensity that they showed in the second quarter, I think that's going to be the key for them. Not letting people go backdoor, not letting Salem get easy looks, because they've shown that they can shoot the ball pretty well tonight. So I think if they keep that intensity both on mainly the defensive end, but also on the offensive end, I think they can. Roll out on this one. And then I also think for Salem, they did a pretty good job, despite the beginning of the second quarter breaking that press. I think if they stay composed and getting those good passes that they've been getting, and starting to maybe switch things up on defense, maybe throwing different looks, I think that can be helpful for them as well.
Appreciate those insights. We'll see what happens as the second half plays out. A couple scores from around the league. The Bedford girls are down in Salem. They hold a 20-point lead at the end of 3, 47-27. On the boys' side, Winnacunnet trails Nashua North by 11 at the start of the third, 33-22. Start of the third in Goffstown tied with Alvern at 29. Pinkerton up big over Merrimack after 3. And here, the Bulldogs lead by 13, 36-23 as we get ready for second half action.
That is a surprising score. And in Merrimack, I had Merrimack on Tuesday night, and that was a very competitive game down at Wyndham.
They've had some up and down scores that have been a little confusing.
Considering Merrimack is the only one that has beaten Nashua North this year.
Bedoyan with a little jumper. Nice way to get out. He had 5 points after the first half, now with 7. We get a foul on the far sideline. Toscano's going to pick one up as they were extending that pressure. So 15-point lead now, 38-23 for the Bulldogs after that jumper by Nico Bedoyan. Don't forget, tomorrow, boys ice hockey at Keene. WBNH will broadcast that on 105.1. Harry Kozlowski bringing you all the action from the ice. Another foul here by the Bulldogs, this time on Bedoyan, as the referee made his bear claw signal. I'm assuming that was a push. Three-pointer on the way is no good, rattles out by Mello. Defensive rebound by Aiden O'Connell. Back into transition, swinging it around the top. Toscano is down to Brown. Now they look for Lafferty down in the post. Cut through, Bedoyan, up fake, finds Toscano deep in the corner. They show some patience against this 2-3 zone. Lafferty at the foul line. O'Connell now gets back to the elbow, swing it back down and around. Now they find Toscano, far side pass, too strong on the three-pointer. Hustling for the rebound is O'Connell, and he's going to pick up a foul on David McGrail.
Nice hustle foul there, yeah, hustle.
Sure was. McGrail picks up his second. First on the team here in the second half, and yeah, you're absolutely right, Bill. That was Aiden O'Connell, hustle all the way.
When it came down, you thought two was going to get it right away, but there was the Bedford defender to take the ball away and get the foul.
Yeah, that inside leverage, that hand up and in between the hands of the Blue Devil. In this case, McGrail. Now Lafferty gets into a double team, and it's a jump ball as he gets tied up.
Lafferty comes up with a little bit of a limp there.
And the quick turnover here by the Bulldogs. Bedoyan gets called for a travel. That was kind of a strange call.
Yeah.
Looked like he got whacked on the wrist. The ball trickled away. He didn't even have the ball when they called the travel. So, again, Coach Carter, they're 200 feet closer, but
yeah, but from this distance, it definitely looked like there was no clear possession, and you got to have possession to have a
steal by Brown. Yeah. Bedoyan in transition hangs, gets whacked on the arm, and gets the bucket to go. Great play and athleticism by Nico Bedoyan. He'll go to the line for an N1.
He got to the spot first.
He sure did.
Yeah, he'll get the N1 here.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, he'll get the N1 here.
Brady Gaudette picks up the foul as Nico Bedoyan knocks down the free throw. 10 points now for Bedoyan. Casado into the front court. Mello now along the right side of the arc, dribbles into the lane, kicks it back outside to Casado. Behind the back dribble and a floater, no good. Bedoyan looks to get back quickly to the other side, but the Blue Devils are back defensively. O'Connell kicks it back up top. Bedoyan for three, too strong. Brown, bounce pass down low to Aiden O'Connell. He makes some room for himself, can't get it to go, gets his own rebound.
There, gets the putback. Nice play. Hustle, 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 gets the basket.
Good body control there too, as he was fading away and off balance, but got that putback to go. 43-23, the Bulldogs have jumped out to a 20-point lead with 5:30 to go in the third quarter. Casado gets to the free throw line, can't knock it down. Brown with the rebound. A little block here by Justice Casado. Got in the way of Bedoyan. Picks up quick foul there. And we'll get a quick stoppage in play. Again, that boys hockey game tomorrow, I can't hit that too many times. Coach over here, Harry Kozlowski, he can't wait to bring you all the action from the ice down in Keene tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. WBNH only. BCTV will not be able to make that trip down, but it will be on the radio.
And if you like some basketball, the D3 final is at Keene State tomorrow night.
Yep, tomorrow night. Fantastic. Strong move to the hoop by Aiden O'Connell. He has 7 now, 45-23. Weaving through traffic, Mello gets fouled and the hoop. Toscano looked like he had position, but the referee was there, thought he was still moving. So Toscano picks up his third. And Mello will go to the line for the N1. 11 points for Mello.
That one was a little close. You know, they were in the vicinity.
He says a little close.
They were both in the vicinity.
Vicinity, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Not in the area code, but in the vicinity.
Yeah, okay, vicinity.
All right.
Well, we don't have replay tonight, unfortunately. Dale Bird unavailable for replay, but that probably would have helped us tell the story.
Well, we'll have to watch the re-air on the mobile app just to take a look at that.
Mello hits the free throw. Kazajanski can't get the lay-in to go. Scrapping for the loose ball down low is Caden Brown. Aiden O'Connell gets to the elbow and buries the jumper. 9 now for Aiden O'Connell. 6 points here in the second half. Kazajanski will pick up a foul on the far sideline. 47-26 is your score. 4:29 to go in the third quarter. Slowing things down now is Caden DeLeon. Now getting double teamed up top. A little wraparound pass gets over to Mello. He finds Smith in the corner. Back up top and around. Blue Devils looking for open shots here. Gonzalez, far side to DeLeon. He drives, baseline cut, and that's picked off by Caden Brown. A little crossover dribble, wows the crowd. Dishes it to Dylan Lafferty right down the lane, who finishes for 2. Lafferty now with 7. Ball tipped and stolen again here by Brown. Gets it up quick. Bedoyan dishes to Kazajanski, who gets the easy lay-in. And this is that up-tempo, frantic pace that the Bulldogs love to create. 3-point attempt now by Gonzalez, no good. Rebound Kazajanski, and they're out quick again. Bedoyan, far side. Pass interception from Brown. He was looking for Kazajanski. And now Smith back in fast break motion. Mello gets the easy 2. He has 14. 51-28. 23-point lead for the Bulldogs. Kazajanski gets whacked in the middle. Took a hard one across the arm. That's Callan Smith. 4th team foul here in the second half for the Blue Devils.
Changes here for Salem as they bring in number 1, Kyle O'Loughlin.
David McGrail also checks in for the Blue Devils. Kazajanski down low, finds Braga. Lafferty up top, swing it around, finds Brown. Whoa, that looked like a travel. Didn't get called. And now Brown comes away with a hustle play and another bucket. Now cutting down the far side and unable to make the lay-in is David McGrail.
That was definitely...
Kazajanski for 3, no good.
Should have been some kind of call down there. That was a little bit of a wreck there.
It was a wreck, but no call comes. And the Bulldogs come out. Blue Devils turn it over. Thomas Braga. Bedoyan will slow things down as the Bulldogs get into their offense. 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. They hold a 25-point lead. 53-28. Offensive board by Kazajanski. Can't get it to go. Caden Brown almost comes away with another steal. Cut down the lane, McGrail. Lefty, no good.
Oh, that, yeah, definitely, yeah.
We both said yeah at the same time. Phil Mello got his hands right on the back of the Bulldog defensive rebounder, and he's going to get called for a foul.
Thomas Braga can fly, but I don't think he can fly that well without a little bit of help.
Dylan Soden checks in. First action of the evening for Soden. Again, Luke Soden off tonight in street clothes. Bedoyan. Back to Braga up top. Caden Brown drives into the lane. Kazajanski will pull from 3. Oh, halfway down. Geez, there have been several of those.
3/4 of the way down there. Oh, no.
2 by O'Connell were nearly all the way in. No, wow. Caden Brown says, no, no, no.
Student section is very interactive there when that ball come flying into the middle of it.
Dikembe Mutombo, I'm sorry, he was 55, not just 5.
Yeah.
Brown makes the block from behind and swatted that 2 rows deep in the student section.
He was also 7'3".
Yeah, well, you know, made his blocks a little bit easier than Caden Brown's. 3-pointer on the way here, no good by Kyle O'Loughlin. Braga comes away with it for the Bulldogs. He gets into the lane, little floater, no good, too strong. Mello comes away with the defensive rebound. Slows things down as the Bulldogs are back in transition defense. 3-pointer again here, well short. That was Cooper Keenan. He had some time and space and pulled the trigger, but shot was wayward. The Bulldogs still hold that 25-point lead, 53-28. Not a lot of points scored in the last minute or so of play. And now Dylan Soden's going to pick up a foul as he tried to come over the back. Not necessarily the best play there. Kind of a silly foul there by Soden. No need to go for that unless you thought you were going to get the steal. And now he does get the steal. Soden's out there. Looked like he might have double dribbled but got away with it. You saw that too, didn't you?
Yeah, you know, but it looked good on the film roll there.
Yeah,
you know?
you know. That's okay. 2-man crew, they can't see everything, right?
That's right.
Down low. Ooh, almost coming away
different
with
there
it.
when we get to the semifinals and you got 3-man.
There you go. Now Bedoyan comes away with a steal up top. Dishes to Kazajanski, spins away, and that's his 3rd offensive foul this evening. That's a tough one there. I mean, he's spinning away from pressure.
Unfortunately,
Possibly a bit of a flop there by the Blue Devils, but again, his momentum carried him into the defender, so he gets called.
4th foul.
That's his 4th, jeez.
But 3 offensive.
Okay, I must have missed one. 2 seconds, 1, Mello gets it off, but it is a little bit off. And the Bulldogs will end the 3rd quarter with a 55-28 lead, extending their lead out to 27. Only 5 points scored by the Blue Devils in the 3rd quarter, as again, that defensive intensity that Jack Watson was talking about heading into this half has continued. Jack, any observations from that 3rd quarter?
Yeah, like you said, like you reiterated, Bedford's playing great defense from the 2nd quarter on. I mean, even right now, they're really doing a good job at using that offhand to block the passing lanes to get those steals and those fast break points. And Salem's really not playing patient. They're kind of rushing their passes and not making the best passes. So it kind of is making it easy for Bedford to just steal the ball.
Defensive intensity continues. Likely see that throughout the 4th quarter here.
I think Cinderella lost her slipper after that 1st quarter.
The Bedford Bulldogs Athletic Booster Club is always looking for new members and volunteers to help support the Bedford High School athletic programs. Booster Club meets in the BHS Media Center at 7 p.m. on the 1st Wednesday of every month. Visit www.bbabc.net to learn more about how you can help or request more information. A couple score updates. The girls have completed their victory down in Salem. 64-32 was the final. Winnicott falls to Nashua North, 63-51. Goffstown is leading Alvern late in the 4th, 71-57. And again, the Bulldogs here up by 27, almost making it 30. Toscano misses the 3.
Quite a few of those rolling out.
3-pointer here, no good by Salem. Ball gets batted around and off of the Bedford defender. So the Blue Devils will get another shot at it. Seven and a half to go in the game. The Bulldogs lead 27. 3-pointer on the way here, off. No good by Brock James. Aiden O'Connell back in transition. Braga with the jab step. Dishes back out top to Aiden O'Connell.
The one thing you notice that Bedford's defensive rebounding has picked up since that 1st quarter also.
Blue Devils are in more of a 3-2 look here. They look for Toscano on the cut, and the pass is a bit late. Now Mello comes away, back on the break. Cut here. On the way again for 3, and making it this time is Kyle O'Loughlin. He gets in the scorebook. And the lead is 24, 55-31, the Bulldogs up. Bedoyan will slow things down. Braga to the corner. Aiden O'Connell for 3. No good, a bit short. Toscano battles for the rebound, but Mello comes away with it for the Blue Devils. O'Loughlin back up top. Gaudette now. Down low, Mello. Tries the up and under, no good. Sneaking around from behind, Braga avoids the defender. Now Aiden O'Connell gets double teamed down on the baseline. Toscano up top. This pass gets deflected, but Soden is able to come up with it, but he turns it over. Mello dishes to Cooper Keenan. Now back to Gaudette. And Mello gets to the elbow, tries to dish it across the lane, but Bedoyan comes away with the steal. A little hesitation dribble by Aiden O'Connell, can't get the lay-in to go. And Mello is back for the Blue Devils. Finds the baseline jumper, no good there by Brock James. And now O'Connell can't quite get his steps down to punch it, but he gets the easy lay-in and pushes his point total to 11. Quick timeout as Coach Moreno wants to get things together, possibly make a couple substitutions. If you're interested in joining the officials, it's an easy call. You like that play on words, Bill?
Oh, it's an easy call. Yes, it is.
I bet as an official you would have liked that. Officiating allows you to continue to be a role model by demonstrating qualities such as impartiality, fairness, and courage. High school sports officials help protect the integrity of the games we love by teaching and enforcing the rules of play. New officials have an opportunity to make a difference in their communities right away. To learn more about becoming a high school sports official, please visit NHIAA.org.
It's been a great avocation for me for the last 26 years. Everyone goes, how many times a week do you go to the gym? I say 2 to 3 times a week because I'm doing games.
There you go.
So it's
get your exercise in, right, sir?
It does.
Blue Devils turn it over here as the Bulldogs get their hands in on the defensive side. Gaudette was touching the ball as it was over the end line. So it is Bulldog basketball. They hold a 26-point lead here with 5:20 to go in the game. 57-31 is the score. Deep pass all the way to the corner. Braga back to Toscano. Now Braga from the corner. Three-pointer, no good. Blue Devils come away with it. They're out on the break. Block here by Lafferty. Great job. Now out on the break, Aiden O'Connell can't quite get his steps again, but gets the lay-in. He was looking to flush that.
Yeah, he wants to send these fans into a tizzy right there with a slam and down. Oh,
Braga
wow.
Getting out.
No.
Challenges that shot. He closed it out. And as you referred to, Dikembe Mutombo has made his presence felt twice now. No. Cookie Monster throws it into the Salem Blue Devil bench. 59-31 is the score. Just over 4.5 to go in the game.
You buy a ticket, you don't think it's going to be interactive when that ball comes flying into the stands.
You sure don't. Now on the drive, the Blue Devils kick far side. This is James. Kicks it back out to O'Loughlin.
Some good experience for these young Salem players as they get some time on the court here.
Three-pointer gets stuck in the rim. Cooper Keenan can't get that to go. They fish it out as Caldwell gets up and tips it out of the wedge. And Coach Carter, what's the call on that?
Jump ball.
Jump ball.
Going to the arrow.
Possession arrow points in favor of the Blue Devils. Oh,
Yeah, it does.
They're figuring it out. I think it points in favor of the Blue Devils.
Yeah.
So it will be blue ball. 4:14 to go in the game. 59-31 is your score. The Bulldogs up over the Blue Devils, and Salem turns it over on the inbound. Caden Brown now brings it over the timeline. The Blue Devils still in that 3-2 zone defense. Caldwell. Out to brother Daniel Caldwell. Dishes it across. Ethan Caldwell goes up and he gets fouled on the way to the hoop. Cooper Keenan will pick up the foul.
Teaching moment there, you know?
Teaching moment. What do you think he's saying to Cooper right there?
If you had stepped away, you probably would have had a better shot at blocking that.
Okay. Give a little space. Get your arms in and up. Caldwell misses the first one here. This is Ethan Caldwell on the line.
I'd like to see the free-throw percentage tonight for Bedford, because I don't think they would be very happy with that percentage today.
Not so good, as Caldwell misses the second as well.
That's gonna be a key when you get into playoffs here, is how to make the free ones.
Blue Devils can't hit the runner along the baseline. That was Cooper Keenan again. Now he finds the corner here, Cal Smith, and he buries the three. 9 points now for Callan Smith. 3:30 to go in the game. Bulldogs lead 59-34. Caden Brown back up top. Settle things. Pass down low by Toscano. Gets batted away from Ethan Caldwell. He found the cutter down low on the baseline, but Caldwell had the ball pushed out of his hands. Now Toscano comes up with the ball again here. Lafferty. Wow, a little bit awkward, but still gets it to go. Lafferty comes away with a little grin on his face, as he knows it probably looked awkward. It probably felt awkward, but it did go in. Now Toscano comes away with one. He's out on the break and gets a deuce. Toscano's into double digits with 10. Nice play by the senior there, getting him into double digits this evening on senior night. Olafa now for three and buries another one. 6 points for Kyle O'Laughlin. Just under 2.5 to go in the game. Bedford's lead is 63-37. Caldwell here, that's Ethan, drives hard on the baseline. Lafferty can't get the first to go, but follows it up strong. He has 11. We're going to get some younger players into the game with 2:05 to go. The referees take a brief timeout for these substitutions as Landon Elsmore and Logan O'Connell will come in. And a nice round of applause for senior Sean Toscano. Family in the audience over there, Paul and Margaret, parents, brothers, Ryan and Paul, grandparents. Great to see everybody over there.
Also Caden Brown
taken out
senior.
of the game. Was also taken out, as you mentioned, Bill. Fouled on the way to the hoop was Cooper Keenan. He'll get the and one opportunity. That's his first points of the evening. Ethan Caldwell picking up that foul. And Keenan will go to the line to try for that natural three-point play. Foul shot is off, short and right. 65-39, just under 2 minutes to play.
The only thing missing now is that chant of Rudy as it comes towards the trying to get Rudy Rudiker into the game.
Nobody wears 45 on this team, so that might be a little challenging. Caldwell drives the lane, loses the ball. Kyle O'Laughlin comes away with it for the Blue Devils. Finds McGrail along that far sideline. Kicks it way across. Smith can't hit it down. Caldwell comes away with the rebound. He gets fouled on the way to the hoop. Tucked it under his belt like a running back. Almost looked like the Heisman Trophy right there as he was tucking it under the arm. Getting strong on the way to the hoop. And he'll go to the line.
With 72 seconds left in this game.
0 for 3 from the line.
we go. Another senior coming out.
Dylan Lafferty heading to the sidelines. Again, congratulations to Dylan Lafferty. Final regular season game as a senior. That's Ethan Caldwell misses his next free throw, but Daniel Caldwell cleans up the mess. He has 4 points now, does Daniel. 67-39. Under a minute to go as the Bulldogs look to close this one out and move to 17-1 on the regular season. Only loss coming earlier this season to Nashua North. McGrail is going to get called for a travel. Looked like it could have been called a chicken wing there too as he wrapped his right arm around. No foul though. Referees want to keep this moving, collect their paycheck and get out of here, right, Bill?
Yeah, it'll come electronically tomorrow. It'll come electronically on Monday, I should say.
67-39, 30 seconds to go. Going to the hoop hard was Logan O'Connell. It comes away from him. Hustling back on that backside was Elsmore, and he's going to get called for the foul. Landon Elsmore picks it up. Coach Moreno appreciates the hustle as he was getting back in transition, looked to try to tie him up. But McGrail will go to the line for two as he hits the first one. First point there for David McGrail. Second one is good as well. 20 seconds to go here in Bedford High School Gymnasium. Landon Elsmore will slow things down. Logan O'Connell, under 10. And this will just about do it, as the Bulldogs do not look to score here anymore. They're dribbling the ball out, and that's the final buzzer as the Bulldogs take home a 67-41 victory here over the visiting Salem Blue Devils. Great job by the Bulldogs finishing out the regular season. Quick check-in back with Jack Watson for any last thoughts throughout that fourth quarter there.
Yeah, at the end of the game, both teams, Bedford kind of in the beginning played a little bit sloppy. They started making some questionable passes that were getting stolen, but I mean, at that point it didn't really matter. Bedford was still on the offensive end, still making their shots, still making good plays. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the rest of the standings after the next couple of games. Hopefully we can get some scoring updates and see what happens. But yeah, I mean, hopefully Bedford will make the playoff push, and hopefully it's exciting to see what they do in the playoffs. Hopefully they do well.
Likely three teams finishing with one loss at the top of Division I basketball on the boys' side this evening. We'll see how things shake out as Pinkerton, Bedford, and Nashua North likely all finish the season at 17-1. The computer will do the rest and figure out the seeding for playoffs as we start next week. Only the top seed will get a bye in the first round for Division I basketball. Again, congratulations to the seniors tonight. Senior night, those 6 seniors: Caden Brown, Dylan Lafferty, Ethan Caldwell, Daniel Caldwell, Sean Toscano, and Aiden O'Connell. All 6 seniors finishing out the regular season. Quick scoring update again on the Bulldogs side. 13 points for Aiden O'Connell. He led the Bulldogs. 11 for Dylan Lafferty, 10 for Nico Bedoyan, 10 as well for Sean Toscano. 7 for Austin Kazajanski, 4 for Daniel Caldwell, 2 for Dylan Soden, and 6 for Caden Brown. On the Blue Devils side, we had 14 for Phil Mello as he led all scorers. Callan Smith had 9 on 3 3-pointers. Kyle O'Loughlin also hit 2 3-pointers for 6 points. David McGrail 2. Justice Casado had 4, as did Zach Carrion, and 2 points for Cooper Keenan. For the entire BCTV crew, we appreciate everybody joining this evening. Bill Jennings on camera, Andrew Fenn running the show, production. WBNH was run by our old faithful Harry Kozlowski. Jack Watson providing some analysis. On color this evening, Bill Carter. I'm Corey Munster-Tiger. Man, we had a packed house on this crew over here. We appreciate everybody tuning in, and we'll join you for playoff action next week for both the boys and the girls throughout the week. For everybody here, we appreciate you tuning in. So long.